this. You're listening to charlietrix, remise, and jhanboom.
Let's go. One more time. That's what I was looking for.
Ooh, there it is. Sexy.
Smooth with the intro this time.
What's going
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is The Fans Perspective. I am your host, charlietrix, and I'm here with my brother.
Remise. What's good, everybody?
What's good, everybody? And we got my man,
It's your boy jhanboom. What's poppin'?
John Busy Boom is in the building as usual.
Yes.
It is a beautiful Saturday. It is November 18th.
Ooh.
We are approaching my favorite holiday coming up, Thanksgiving. And I always say it every year, but amazing family and food time with no exchange of gifts.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Anti-Christmas kind of shout right there. But anyway, we got a live show for you today.
You know.
Thank you once again for tuning in and being here with us. How you gentlemen feeling before we get the show on the road?
Yo, hey, let's start off. Yo, you know, I'm feeling great, man. It's Saturday, Sabado Gigante style. Nice weather. Thanksgiving on the way. If you got pastelas and coquito, hit me up, man. I need a new plug. Let me know what's going on. But, you know, feeling good in the neighborhood, man. Back on them streets. What's up, Remy?
Yeah, man. Everything's good. Everything's good. Looking forward to the break from work that comes with Thanksgiving and the holiday season. That's my big thing.
Sexy.
And also, the Knicks season has begun. So that's my big thing right now. I'm enjoying watching the Knicks play basketball.
Big win last night,
Last
Knickerbocker
night,
basketball.
you know, I'm a little tired because last night we went to the Knicks Fan TV live watch party. So
That's
it was
right.
a nice time.
Word.
All right, did you see any celebrities, any professional ball players? How was it?
Not at that one, but there was a good crowd. You know, everybody was hyped. It was good energy. CP, who's the host of the show, came through and, you know, he said what's up and sat and
Nice.
hung out with
I remember
everybody.
last time you were there was like several. Was that a bigger celebration?
The first time, the one we went to last time was the opening, the season opener for last season. And that one, the place was packed. That was at the 4040 bar, and that got completely rammed. And then the opening night for this season, they did one. I didn't go to it, but I saw that like Chuck D was there. Looked like the crowd was crazy again, so that was really rammed. This one, there was at least a little bit of breathing room. DJ was killing it between tracks too.
Yeah,
Shout out to that.
for sure.
And yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Pow.
Well, shout out to that right there. So let's get right into it for this week.
Right in.
We're going to set it off. We have to set it off with this.
The drama.
Breaking news. I mean, it's all over the place.
Breaking.
P. Diddy, Cassie. Let's start backwards. Today, news is out. They have settled out of court. Actually, this dropped yesterday. But if you've been watching this week, you would have seen the news headlines. Cassie turned her case public against P. Diddy. There was all sorts of terrible allegations from abuse, rape, assault, just
trafficking,
sex trafficking, ongoing. I mean, the list was absolutely terrible. The news came in like a storm
Right on.
against P. Diddy. It was all terrible. And 2 days after it went public, or a day and a half even,
Yeah, word up.
it came out, settled out of court. So all three of us actually came in today when we were talking about what are we gonna speak about, and each one of us kind of had this on the radar just because it's so large, and it fits right in with different topics we've been discussing. So you guys can jump in at any point on these if you have stuff to add in.
Yeah, so allegedly, besides what we heard, even allegedly Kid Cudi jumped in, said that P. Diddy blew up his car.
Corroborated it.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he watched a lot of Casino. I don't know if he needed a little $100,000, Kid Cudi, but he came in with that. But as we know, 48 to 72 hours later, it was squashed. P. Diddy said, "Hey, you motherfuckers better chill, because my new Love album is out. You fucking up my sales."
Yeah,
man. So, like, I just think one of the crazy things to see was this kind of had the same type of traction that the DJ Envy story had, where people started digging up old tweets and videos, and you're starting to see little clips of people making jokes about, "Oh, I don't mess with Diddy," or, you know, somebody tweeted about Kid Cudi's car, Diddy setting Kid Cudi's car on fire in like 2014. So I just see it having that viral nature where a lot of people were picking it up, and I was looking at it. I didn't know the level of the allegations until this morning. I watched somebody, break them all down. But man, this dude literally, with Kid Cudi co-signing it, apparently blew up his car in his driveway while his family and friends were home. There's stories about him hanging people over balconies. And to me, the crazy thing is, initially, my first thought was, we all kind of knew Diddy had that crazy side to him. I just didn't know the extent of it. But I always remembered when Nas dropped the Hate Me Now video, Diddy was crucified in it with him. And over that, Diddy went to Steve Stout's office and beat up Steve Stout. I remember all the drama of that.
Yeah.
So I always was like, I always kind of side-eyed all the nice guy Diddy stuff, but I didn't know it was this crazy. This is extreme shit.
Diddy can go Puff Daddy in matter of 60 seconds. So he can, so he's P Diddy, but when he goes Puff Daddy, that's when the shit goes crazy.
The tenor of the take that turns into real aggressive take that's, and that's what you don't want to hear.
Yeah. So, here's the thing about the story. The allegations were so crazy, but then there were other artists who worked with Diddy who came out. Danity Kane, for example, you guys already mentioned Cudi.
Word.
And there were several others, and kind of corroborated, saying statements like, I've been telling you guys. Mm-hmm. So, just that alone, it looked ugly. And then the fact that it gets settled out so fast, obviously people are going to be thinking all sorts of stuff. Lots of people are going to be saying, this guy was caught red-handed or didn't want to get any further mud brought out into the open. But just to tell you, here's a statement after the settlement. This is from Cassie, who said, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyer for their unwavering support. And in a separate statement, P. Diddy said, we've decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Before adding love. So, one way or another, they squashed it, and she seems to be happy, and I'm sure he's happy.
I'm a little surprised Dylan didn't come out with something, because, Dylan took a lot of abuse from Diddy and making the band.
How far did he make them walk for that cheesecake?
Exactly, man. He's been making people walk. Making people do outrageous shit. So
you think about how he was acting on that show, and it's like, I guess behind the scenes it probably gets a lot worse.
Thinking about the cheesecake thing, maybe we should have knew this was a
there was a dark side.
There was a dark side.
Diddy don't play around,
was
man.
the tip of the iceberg.
But it's just so ill, we just saw how the DJ Envy story kind of just kept snowballing. And one of the main differences, that's a full denial.
Mm-hmm. This one
came out.
It started to pick up that speed, and it looks like Diddy was like dropped a hammer and shut down that conversation, or tried to at least.
I was going to say, we'll see how far this extends, or will it fade out, because people's attention span these days is really short.
Word.
And this, though, to be brushed under the rug with these allegations is so crazy. We were having a conversation when Lou got here about this, and it's so tough. Like, when you hear the settle out part, but you think about the allegations that were lobbied, and then you think, how can you settle? How do you not want this person to face a harsher thing or harsher sentence, get more money, whatever it is? But
I think there's too much math to that. That was like the discussion we were having was, and it's possible you put it into the court's hands. And somebody with the resources that Diddy has, there's no guarantees. That could get delayed for a very, very long time.
Word.
And, just thrown into limbo. So this does wind up giving a quick resolution to it. She got the story out into newspapers. And the other thing I do want to mention is this was always going to be a civil case. So there's not like there was going to be legal repercussions as far as criminal charges. That was never on the table with this case. That would take an NYPD investigation, which initially I had seen somebody stating that they did have an investigation open, but later on the NYPD came out and said that wasn't true, which also kind of happened all during the snowballing. It was allegations out there, and then bang, they settled. And also, by the way, the NYPD says there's no open investigation. So it was just like, it was one of those where if you're very skeptical of the system, instantly it was like,
Yeah, I mean, look,
how much is Eric Adams collecting in fundraising for this one? Because he's being investigated for fundraising.
Yeah. You know what? That's gonna roll us right into this next. That's gonna roll us right into this next story because, essentially what I'm hearing when I hear this is that all of these wildly successful people, successful businessmen, business owners, there's always this evil dark side that you hear. So this story reminded me of that. And it just so happens that a couple weeks back, I watched Super Pumped on Netflix. For people who don't know, that's the story about Uber and the guy who basically brought Uber to where it is up to a point. But, there was so much foul play and breaking the law and skirting the rules that you saw this man do in order to get Uber to the level that it's at today. I mean, they had to crush people, break rules, do all sorts of stuff that we all sitting here would think, no, we couldn't do that. If we were starting a business, we would be thinking, we definitely can't do that. Mm-hmm. This guy didn't have that marble in his head. It was just like, I don't give a shit. And the one thing you see is like the more money that's available to be made on the table, the further you can bend or break those rules. And, I started thinking about it. We watched the show Painkiller about the Oxycontin, which was insane.
Yep.
Similar story, rules broken, rules
ignored,
money used to push this product, and then a disaster.
And then the penalty is a slap on the wrist compared to what the profits and what they gained and compared to what the damage they did was. And it's like a much larger version of Cassie getting a settlement out of court with Puff Daddy.
And just to show you, just to add on, like just a couple further more examples, right? The Social Network. We saw, anybody who saw that show, you got the story of Zuckerberg and how he created Facebook, which was essentially he jacked that shit,
And those guys got their settlement, the Winklevoss twins. And
they got a settlement out of it,
But it was like a few $100 million and Zuck's a billionaire.
And there's another movie, another show out called The Pain Hustlers. And that one is about a pharmaceutical company that was convincing doctors to prescribe a new drug, which was a liquid-based fentanyl painkiller to cancer patients, which ended up having a similar effect like Oxycontin. Eventually, people hooked on it. Mm-hmm. It ends up not doing what they were supposed to. But my whole point with this story and with linking it back to P. Diddy is just that, does anybody make it to the top without breaking all the rules?
It reminds me of there was that like statistic about like the percentage of CEOs that are sociopaths and how you're more likely to be a sociopath.
What is 95%?
It was so crazy, and I never knew if that was a real stat or if that was some pop bullshit. But this sort of thing reminds me of it because it's either absolute power corrupts absolutely, or power just attracts people who are willing to put aside certain principles or morality that the average person wouldn't. And since it's this sort of control they get, they wind up doing some terrible things at the top.
Yeah, I think that basically from what I've seen, if we just went based on these movie versions of real life, and obviously the real story's much deeper than that, but if we just went based on that, it seems like each one of these characters had that built into them, that defect, that willingness to fucking break through something that you're not supposed to.
No relationship too sacred. Nothing is sacred enough to avoid continuing to plow forward.
Yeah, and then for someone like myself, I just think like I would have never got the company there because I wouldn't have wanted to break half those rules. I would have been like, yeah, that's against the law. I guess we can't do it.
Not only that, I would have
been a failure.
Oh, this is addictive and people could die because of it.
Or that.
I choose not to do that. Let's do something that's safe for people since we're a medicine company. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
that should cross your mind.
maybe there's a moral aspect. Johnny, what do you think about that? Do you have to be evil to be successful?
You do, man, because the first thing that came to my mind was Asian massage parlors right away, right? There's a legal aspect of it, but when you get into the place, it turns completely illegal. But they've been expanding and becoming such a well-known business that it's...
What, they're doing mani-pedis
You know
now?
what I'm saying? They're breaking the rules, but keeping it legal. So my thing is exactly what you guys are saying. Sometimes you got to bend the ass in order to put it in. You know what I'm saying? So...
Take to the next level.
Even Robert Kraft,
you know,
got caught at an Asian massage parlor. That's true.
Exactly,
oh man. Yeah. So,
and I wonder what kind of trouble did Robert Kraft get into at the end of that. I don't remember what the penalties were, but he got busted doing that.
I don't really
everybody gets caught at the Asian massage parlor besides me.
So are you saying that sex work is real work?
Yeah, it's real work. It's illegal, but it's legal.
It's legal some places, Johnny.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move this right along. Speaking of local news
and breaking the rules, man. So, you know, TFP is known for their stories on wildlife and animals. And one specific bird that we talk about was the pigeon, you know, smuggling cocaine and ecstasy and all the good stuff in and out of the jails. But now we got a different type of bird that's looking for something different. So we're going down to the tough streets of Central Park Zoo, where they have a Eurasian owl by the name of Flaco the Owl. Flaco the Owl, early this year in February, decided that he was tired of getting no owl for JJ. So he decided to take a trip out to the world of New York City. So he's cruising through the Bronx, he's cruising to Yonkers, but he cannot find another owl. So in the Bronx, in the Central Park Zoo, the keepers were going crazy. Where's Flaco left in February. But recently, they seen Flaco return after 9 months of looking for a bad bitch owl in the sky. He found nothing.
Well, how do they know he didn't find anything?
Yeah, that's
what if he was out there scoring left and right?
What if he left some poor owlets?
This is a thing.
In a nest without a Flaco.
The Eurasian owl is one of a kind that unfortunately is not in the North America area.
Oh,
that's the thing. So he's not really looking for pigeons or canaries. He's looking for one type of owl that's going to fulfill his needs. And unfortunately, after 9 months of searching through New York, which a Eurasian owl, I don't think you're going to just find. Unless you come up to maybe Alpine. You know, I've seen a couple owls out there. He could have maybe finesse. But he came back to the zoo. They seen it and said, "Goddamn, Flaco, where the fuck you been?"
Did they let him out?
No, he escaped.
Oh, he escaped. Okay, because I was gonna say, if they let him out,
he escaped. He escaped in February. They were worried about him searching, but they knew he left during mating season, so they knew he was out there looking for a little bit of ass. But unfortunately, after 9 months, he couldn't find no owl because he said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'll go back and re-strategize back in the zoo."
Start planning for the next trip.
For the next
mating season.
Somebody let him know to come up to Jersey. We got a couple owls out here. Not too bad, but you know.
I don't understand why the zoo doesn't just try to find him a mate.
Bring one, yeah.
That's one thing in the story. They didn't really touch base, but again, they don't want him to start. That's one thing that they were saying. They don't want him to start mating. Then you get a bunch of Eurasian owls that they can't necessarily have the resources here to take care of.
Are they like gentrifying? What is?
Hey man, I know that owls are only fucking owls, and they're not messing with any other birds or any type of canaries. Look a little good, but they're a little fragile for them.
True.
All right, so what are we thinking? Does Flaco make it?
Does he make it?
No. I'm saying, does he make it into the group? Because look, man, we got roosters who got knives.
Yeah,
we got pigeons who can break into jail cells.
Pow.
You know, we got the beaver porcupine who's just a mystery monster.
Yes,
wandering around Lodi.
We got the alligator causing a stir up and down Jersey, is evading police in multiple, canals.
Yo, a lot of rebels.
But does this owl make the grade?
I don't think he made it. He came back and he's searching for love and know the sensitive shit. He's not really a thug.
I'm not getting a good vibe from you guys that the owl is making the cut.
He's not. Flaco isn't Avengers level. He's more like Snyder DC Universe.
Yeah.
Ooh, Aquaman style?
Aquaman was better than Flaco, actually.
Really?
The Flash.
Yeah. Flaco the Owl is just a lovebird. That's all he is.
You know what? We're going to give a shout out to Flaco the Bird. He's not going to make it onto our team of assassin animals with TFP.
Unfortunately.
But, we'll see. Maybe we'll find another one next time. Let's move this along.
He failed the mission. If he actually found
if he would have found a mate, it would have been
mission accomplished. Then different story. But sorry, Flaco. Get laid, then come back to us.
Let's take a somber moment because we've never had an animal story where the animal failed the mission and didn't make it.
Flaco. But you know what, Flaco? At least you made it to TFP. With your sad story.
We'll be rooting for you next year.
Yes.
So Flaco the Lovebird.
Next mating season. Better luck next time.
We'll get you.
All right. Speaking of funny stories.
I just heard an interesting story, and I think it's one of the coldest, pettiest things I've ever heard somebody do in music industry beefs. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. So I didn't know that Rick James had beef with Prince like that. Ooh. But it turns out he did, and it was very public. So Prince, when he was first coming up, opened for Rick James. This was in 1980. And Rick James and Prince, like their crews had beef with each other during the tour. So it started with somebody from Prince's band putting on a chalkboard, like Howdy Doody they drew. And then somebody else added the Rick James hair and sprayed it with cologne and put Rick James on it. And then Rick James had a whole party of people come in and they had that like caricature on the chalkboard. Caused all types of beef. It was so bad that Rick James in Rolling Stone was trashing Prince. He said, this is from Rolling Stone, "I can't believe people are gullible enough to buy Prince's jive records." He called Prince a mentally disturbed young man. He's out to lunch. You can't take his music serious. He sings songs about oral sex and incest. Yeah, Rick James was trashing Prince the whole time. And like, there's podcasts and interviews with members of their ensembles, and everybody's pretty open about it. These dudes did not get along. Rick James really beefed with the whole Prince band. Like, there's multiple stories of issues.
Word.
But this comes to a head for me is when Rick James stole Prince's synthesizer.
What?
Because in 1980, synthesizers, it was like, to get that shit with all your custom sounds and everything took a lot of work. And Prince mastered that shit and had his synthesizers programmed and ready. And one of his synthesizers went missing.
Ooh.
Right?
Damn.
Take a brother synthesizer.
Year later, 1981, tour's over. Rick James drops an album called Street Songs. And the biggest song you'll probably know off of that is Super Freak.
Ooh, okay.
That got him he got 2 Grammy nominations for Street Songs. At least. Those are the 2 I could find. It made him the first African-American male artist to be nominated in the Best Male Rock Vocal Performance. So he killed it. He went platinum 4 times before 1983 with this album. And he did it all with Prince's synthesizer. And we know this because Rick James's girlfriend at the time, Tina Marie, who's also on the album, said that he sent back the synthesizer to Prince with a thank you note. So, to me, this is the pettiest, most disrespectful shit, and it's why, it's also why I think Rick James is hilarious and such an amazing character in the game.
Rick James, disrespectful.
That is feet on your couch type of level.
That is fuck your couch.
Damn.
Yeah,
but what could
he's notorious for shit like that.
Prince really do? He's like 4'9", with high heels on.
There's actually another story where Rick James's mom went to Prince and asked for an autograph, and Prince just cold walked away from her.
Wow.
She told Rick James, and Rick James was gonna beat his ass. He says that I was gonna beat his ass, but security got between them. They talked him down. And Prince apologized, and he, the quote for Rick James was I really was hoping he wouldn't apologize because I really wanted to beat his ass.
You gotta be really angry / petty to take it out on someone's mom.
Yeah. So, they both went the wrong way about this, but it helped us get street songs, which is, a legendary album in the funk history. And also, how dope was that tour probably to have Prince and Rick James competing with each other because they were beefing. They were probably going on stage and going off.
He's going purple with that ring. You know what I'm saying?
That is pretty wild. You know what though? It's also one of those things where Rick James could have beat his ass. He could have slapped him around.
Serge got a Purple Rain shirt on.
You know it.
Oh, nice. We got a Purple Rain shirt
Serge
in the
in the building,
house.
folks.
To know what time it is.
Come on, view.
Yeah, that's how we do.
This is how legendary these folks are, man. They're showing up on T-shirts in 2023.
Okay,
this beef comes to a head in 40 years ago.
Whose catalog could you do without?
That's
Rick James or Prince? If you had to lose one,
come on.
Oh, that's a tough one, man.
Nah, man. Yeah,
you could do without Rick James.
Oh
yeah,
man.
You know what? Because I grew up a little bit on Prince, man. I remember when he did the Batman, music video. That shit was sick.
You know what? He's
tough,
got the ship
bro.
of Purple Rain, that whole album.
Him, man, Pepper Pizzy. Got the movie.
I don't know.
Super Freak is.
But then,
God damn.
It's a different type of party.
The energy's right.
Rick James is just a icon without the music. He's just a disrespectful, cocaine slapping.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
And he didn't blow up anybody's car in the driveway or anything. He just took their synthesizer and gave it back. But they did say he deleted it and set it back to factory settings.
Oh, damn.
He deleted. Oh man, the story the pettiness
escalates.
is on some epic level shit.
Thanks
in this
for the
story.
Grammy,
but
bro.
hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Rick James and Prince for their ongoing pettiness
An
beef.
amazing feud for what they did.
Amazing
for
feud.
Yeah, man. For the streets.
I think I'm more interested in that than some of the other ones that have gone on lately. But anyway, let's keep moving. So from local to international?
International news back again. jhanboom with some nonsense that's going down in the tough streets of Italy. Now, we just talked about some petty shit that's going down. Now, let's keep it in the P's and talk about these pickpocketers in Italy that are getting on alert from the local community. Now, for some reason if it's the train terminal, if it's crowded area, for some reason, people in Italy, a lot of people have a lot of backpacks, a lot of different big purses, and there's a pickpocketing gang out there that's going around pickpocketing your shit. If they taking your motherfucking gum, to your money, to your cell phone, to your wallet, to your condoms, they're taking everything and they don't give a shit about it. So the local community got upset about this, and they got an elite team led by this one lady that has an outrageous voice. And she documented the pickpocketers on Instagram. And every time she sees a pickpocketer, she yells something particularly. She yells, pickpocketers, something called Botticelli. So when you hear that in a terminal, in a crowded area, you know that there's pickpocketers in the area.
Sound like an opera singer.
Exactly. She has a very unique voice when it comes down to this, and it's gone viral. Now, the pickpocketers, you probably think, hey, when she yells it, why aren't we not whooping the pickpocketer's ass? Now, these pickpocketers are a lot of women, pregnant women, older women, so you don't get that vibe that they're pickpocketers. The only ones that I seen get grabbed up are the men pickpocketers. I seen a couple videos in the train.
They'll get yoked up.
Yeah, they get yoked up. You know what I'm saying? So very unique, man. Out there in Italy, pickpocketers are getting fucking we're not taking shit no more for you taking that shit, man. And they do it in a very elite way. They will corner you down. You're in a crowded area, two on the left, right, two on the back, and they go in your backpack and shit and take whatever they got. You know what I'm saying? I want to put a nice piece of shit in there so when they dig into the motherfucking backpack, the shit comes all smothered in brown deliciousness for you motherfucking pickpocketers.
Doodoo hands.
But yeah, man, pickpocketers. Thank God they're not out here. What do you think about that? The elite pickpocketer superheroes of Italy.
Man, I think shout out to this woman being the change she wants to see in the world and screaming when she sees a pickpocket.
Pickpocket!
There's no...
I like that.
Yeah, you can't have enough police to prevent all pickpocketing from happening in crowded places. It's going to happen, especially if there's teams forming like they think they're Ocean's 11 here just to steal from your bag. Jesus Christ. But good on her. I hope more people pick it up and start yelling, Botticelli.
Oh, that's what I was gonna get to the next one. Yes, because she's posted it so much on Instagram, it's gone viral that there's other people doing the same thing in the area, yelling the same exact thing she's yelling. So when
that's good though.
Yeah, so it's spreading. They are the pickpocketer police.
Like this is one of the best social media campaigns I've seen in a long time. This is like Ike's Bucket Challenge.
This is like a really effective neighborhood watch.
Community policing,
exactly,
at its best.
Now, I've seen some amateur ones that are taking the role of this lady and getting too close to the pickpocketer. And getting slapped or getting pushed. The amateur ones that are, big, when she yells it from a 10 to 15 feet distance that her voice is loud enough to scare them off.
So you need to be able to project if you want to get in on this.
You
Otherwise,
you
could get slapped.
You could get slapped by a pickpocketer.
Listen, to anyone who wants to mimic this lady's actions, step one, actually watch her videos and see how she handles herself.
Yes.
And then mimic that. If you're not doing what she does and you end up getting slapped, you got to go back, you got to watch a few more videos and do a little more research.
Exactly. The Botticelli has to go at least 10 feet. Botticelli! You got to go. But if you can't say it right there, because then the pickpocket is going to react.
I don't,
and they roll deep. It's like 4 of them at a time.
I might slap somebody if they come at me aggressive, yelling some shit that sounds like an Italian opera singer's name.
Yeah, but if it's also happening while you're mid pickpocket,
then that's different. Yeah. Well, that's why, because she does that and they take off.
It's a whole startling effect.
These other people, they're like, oh, they're gonna grab me.
I have seen videos where something like that happens and they catch the pickpocketer, and it's not a good day for the pickpocketer.
No, it's not.
After that point,
there's not much sympathy when somebody gets caught. Their hand in the pocket.
No, there isn't. Especially in some of these places where it happens too. It's like the whole crowd likes to get in on that beatdown. Like, you want to do that around here?
So we're all allowed to stomp now, huh?
Let's beat his ass.
Yeah. Well, shout out to what's her name? Did they? They
don't have her name because she's
lady.
Yeah, because when we were talking, they got the first video of her from a different perspective. Like someone recorded her yelling and getting the pickpocketer. So she doesn't have a name yet, but she wants to keep it in that way because she's like a Batman.
Then the pickpockets might come for her.
Exactly.
If she gets her identity blown.
Exactly.
Just like Peter Parker.
What I'm saying? She don't want people to know who she is, so she can still run upon you and pickpocket.
Yeah, they'll know not to pickpocket in her vicinity. This all makes sense.
Word up.
Oh man, that is fantastic. Man. That's a hilarious story.
What was the award we used to give out? Oh man,
I forget the guy's name. It was based on that guy's name. It was the one who played the Tupac songs at work.
Yeah,
he used to do like a weekly Tupac drop to his coworkers.
He would spam the whole company with a Tupac song lyrics or something like that.
And they got him fired over it.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name.
That's right.
We should bring that back.
She deserves that award. Good job.
You got a story for us?
Yeah. So on something, more on the news tip, serious stuff, but I find it really interesting. I found this Vice article called "Here's What You Need to Know About the Panama Papers of the Drug World." So for anybody that's unfamiliar with the Panama Papers happened when a hacker activist group were able to hack into a bunch of financial dealings in papers. So they broke down the financial dealings and gave it all to investigative journalists. Now, a hacktivist group did the same thing for the international drug trade. So a collaboration of investigative journalists from 23 countries, led by the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP, analyzed 5 terabytes of data, including 7 million emails, after the Colombian prosecutor's office, a global hub of drug trafficking intelligence, was hacked last year. The data breach, reminiscent of the 2016 Panama Papers leak from an offshore law firm revealing how the global super rich hide their money, was passed on to journalists by hacktivist group Guacamaya, which said in a statement that it targeted the office because it was one of the most corrupt bodies in the country. So essentially what we have is a whole team of international investigative journalists that research different aspects of this huge trove of intelligence about the international drug trade.
So wait, so what happened? So they got hacked, and then the hackers released the info, and then the journalists got the info?
The hackers released the info directly to the journalists. This was their way of being activists. They said this is a corrupt body, the prosecutor's office in Colombia, and we want all their information to be available so you can see what's really going on.
And they got 7 million emails out of it?
That's just part of it. Yeah, they got, what was it, 5 terabytes? Let me scroll back up here.
What was the...
5 terabytes.
And then how detailed were they, like how much were they about to... were they able to figure out about the organization's like networks, planning?
So I have one little section that I wanted to pull up because I thought like this was the most interesting part of. They interviewed the guy who oversaw the OCCRP and oversaw this project, and the question was, what does Narco Files tell us about the people at the top of the crime world? And I think this ties into what you were saying earlier about with enough power, people can do anything. Well, here's what he said. There are no masterminds, but a criminal continuum where old criminals built infrastructure that is used by the new arrivals. The more infrastructure, the more crime and the more victims. The infrastructure has many components: banks, crypto exchanges, accountants, hackers, lawyers, shipping, and other transportation industries, corrupt law enforcement, hackers, politicians, and even corrupt journalists. They have systems. They have built an entire system for international drug trade. And he mentions in this, without going into detail, because this is a brief interview just introducing the Narco Files, but he mentions how our criminal investigation, like the global effort to stop this, is way behind them, and that they are always on the cutting edge of whatever technology is available. They're always doing this whole shit, and they're just way ahead. There's no progress on it.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's what I was gonna say. So I wonder, does this, because of that angle, how does this impact them? Does this set them back? Are they able to skirt this quickly and easy because of their just ability and money and access to whatever they need?
I'll do another comparison to the Panama Papers. I know when the Panama Papers came out, it was kind of a big deal if you were a news junkie like us. I remember reading some of the stories out of that, being amazed, and there were some good things that came out of it. But when you look at the end result, all those financial institutions got the slap on the wrist, and they're still doing everything they do, or at least it seems that way. So it seemed like it was just a drop in the bucket. But you hope that more and more of these types of projects can cause bigger and bigger impacts, but we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, that's super interesting. But, on one hand, kudos to all the efforts here to expose this and show just what's going on. And also adding the angle that all this money's being spent on all this, fighting drugs and everything, and they're a step behind all the way. Just hearing that is pretty crazy.
Well behind. And he said it's going to take a collaborative effort between all these agencies inside, because you can try to stop drug trafficking in your country, but it's a global trade and it's a global system that's been built. So you have to be able to address all the chains of operation.
Yeah, that's...
And I have the website pulled up just to read some of the headlines, because there's multiple stories. What they're doing is weekly drops of more stories, because 5 terabytes of data, 23 countries, there's a lot of different investigations ongoing.
And the website is direct for the Narco Papers?
Yeah, it's occrp.org/en/ that's for me to get it in English, /narcofiles-the-new-criminal-order. And just look up Narco Files OCCRP and you'll find it. They have something called the Big Picture articles. This is the highway to Europe inside a global drug collaboration. Then you go down to some of the stories. cocaine everywhere all at once, how drug production is spreading into Central America, Europe, and beyond. The rapid rise of Venezuela's Tren de Aragua gang leaves destruction and death in its wake. Dozens of DEA agents exposed in Colombian prosecutor's office leak. So they're dropping more and more stories that relate to different aspects of it. There's a shark fin one that connects to a Colombian drug lord's son.
Damn.
Yeah, you're just seeing all of these different interconnected pieces, all these places where corruption is happening, and it seems like I'm sure there's going to be some books that come out of this too at the end that'll be really interesting reads. But that's the website to go to and kind of support these journalists for doing a great job and reading an interesting story.
Just to add one last thing onto that story is, whoever worked on this is putting their life in danger to get this information out to the public, out to law enforcement, with the exception of maybe the hackers. Those journalists, their names are on this stuff, and it's easier to find them. So it's a high risk thing to do. And hopefully the payout is worth it.
Yep, and shout out to them. That's a heroic thing too. And also shout out to the hackers. We need more hacktivist groups doing all types of hacks like that because there's so much bullshit that we don't get to hear about going on, and it's just covered up because of the same power systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously, because I hear about all these, hacktivist groups and whatnot. But there's, hack something useful for everybody. Like delete everyone's debt or something. Delete everyone's credit score.
Porn and shit. I can't.
Give everyone free Pornhub and OnlyFans.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let's move it. All right. So I got one more story that I wanted to cover. I really wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this, and it kind of ties back into what I was talking about a little bit earlier with companies that become massive, and usually one person a figurehead. This story is about Amazon, and specifically Amazon's new health care program.
Oh, yeah.
So for people who don't know, Amazon is starting this new thing called One Medical, and it's something that's going to be offered to their Amazon Prime members. So let me just read a little bit. Today, the company announced the latest addition to Prime, access to primary care services through its One Medical platform for $9 a month. One Medical provides access to 24/7 virtual care, expedited care for common concerns such as cold symptoms and skin issues, and same or next day remote or in-person appointments at One Medical primary care offices. Notably, virtual care users will not have any additional costs as the entire service is included in the membership fee. Alternatively, patients that prefer office visits can use insurance or pay out of pocket. Though One Medical is normally available to a wider public for $199, Prime members can now get it for $99 annually, with the option to include additional members for $66 a month. So, a couple of things I wanted to say about that, man, which is, if you know all the stories about Amazon and the shady practices, it ties exactly back into what we've seen and what we were talking about earlier with all these other big businesses and a shady character doing shady shit. Okay. That's number one. Number two, we're talking about healthcare now. And there's something feels absolutely weird to me about healthcare being tied to my Amazon Prime membership. And I want to read this and think, well, this is a good thing and people who don't have care can get it. But thinking about the man behind it, the company behind it, this
they're not offering anything additional. You could get an online consultation or something. I don't know what the hell that even is. But beyond that, they say if you prefer your in-office visits, you can use your insurance. So it's not like it's an insurance replacement. It just seems like more commodifying of the health industry, which I don't think should be commodified at all. You shouldn't be looking for profit with people's health. I think health should be something that we just care about, take care of for people. Hence why every other industrial country has, some form of, universal health care.
I just think
it's just more pushing us away from that.
And United Healthcare offers, I mean, if you have, healthcare, United Healthcare offers that all through their app, what they're offering at $9 a month.
Well, this is the thing. It's for people. There's so many people in this country who don't have any insurance.
Okay. But they're not, are they helping like with the insurance, like,
no,
the
that's
copay?
not what it sounds like at all.
It sounds like you can get basic stuff like I have a rash, I have a cold, I can do this virtual meeting with a doctor and he could say, get some rest and drink water.
Does he work for Amazon though? The doctor?
And then
you know what I'm saying? Is he...
I wonder who's the person on the other side.
How reliable?
Or
are they going to try to AI this and it's basically WebMD, you typing in your symptoms and it being like, yep, you're dying.
WebMD.
Yeah, it's an interesting story to me. And just like I said, tying everything back to someone like Jeff Bezos, the company Amazon itself, on one hand, I do want to think like the more coverage we can get for more people, the better. But this just sounds like...
This doesn't sound like coverage.
I don't like it.
This doesn't even sound like coverage to me.
It sounds, it just sounds like another way for this company to corner some market and make money off of people.
I don't like it at all. Amazon, stick to good shipping, movies, shit like that. But healthcare, get the fuck out of here with that.
Amazon Prime, give me another season of Reacher.
Yeah, man,
that's cool.
Give me a Reacher.
I don't need you to give me a doctor's consult.
Give me another season of Reacher. Reacher coming out in December, from what I hear. And if you haven't seen Reacher season 1, you absolutely should. It's like one of my favorite seasons to watch. I've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah.
But listen, that was the last story we wanted to cover.
Hold on, I got one thing I wanted to discuss.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Let's go.
Bro,
Let's go.
Andre 3000 just dropped an album.
Hold on. You know what? We got a guest in the house today. Let's see if we can bring our guest in for this conversation. We're gonna take 5
for the
pull our guest in on camera, and then we'll jump right out and we'll close with this. All right, hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. What happened?
Attenzione borseggiatori! Attenzione pickpocket! Attenzione
don't get caught with her.
borseggiatori! Attenzione!
Be careful in Italy.
He's got a solid 7 to 8 feet gap.
I would smack her.
There it is, man. But you saw how she keeps a distance from
You
the
have to walk a certain
pickpocketers,
amount.
man.
You have enough time to think twice about it
So
before you do it.
I give her a quick jab.
For the people who are getting smacked, you gotta watch her again.
Hey,
she has a good.
As long as she's got a decent back pedal, you're never getting.
You're never getting her, yo.
yeah.
And by the time you're attacking an old lady, pretty much, if someone sees you.
Oh damn, she's old.
She's an older lady. Yeah, she's an older lady.
All right, let's bring it. Let's bring it back to the people real quick. We're back in full effect, and we got my man, the Joker 577 Surge in the house.
Yo.
What's going on?
Pow.
Sorry. Glad to be here.
That was the wrong button. But before we went, we were about to touch on a topic Remy wanted to go in on.
I've been waiting a long time for Andre 3000 to drop a solo album.
Pow.
It was like, there's certain rappers that you were waiting for. Jay Electronica was like that for a long time. When it finally, you get an announcement that they're dropping an album, you get excited. 3K decided to drop a Flute album with not even just no rap. There's no vocals whatsoever. There's
nothing.
Like not a low hum.
Yeah, I saw this. So I also was caught up in the excitement when I saw that Andre 3000 was dropping an album. I was like, yes, this is going to be the OG coming back. I was so excited.
Finally.
And then I heard a rumor.
I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke because I heard a rumor that, listen, it's just him playing the flute for the whole album. And I was just like, wait a minute. No, it's not Andre killing it on the mic. And lo and behold, that's the case.
That
and
is
I still,
crazy.
you know what? I was like, let me at least give it a shot of listening to some of it to see what it's like, what's the vibe, and it really is. It's just like woodwinds and vibes is the album.
Hell yeah.
Spa music.
Like spa music. I could definitely see relaxing someplace on a hammock.
So, all right. So, because I haven't heard the album.
I'll probably never listen to it again.
Really?
Yeah.
I listened to 3 tracks. That was like 39 minutes of
I
my
gave
time.
it 6 minutes out of a 10-minute song. And I said, nah.
Wait,
man.
the songs
not
are
for
like
me.
10 minutes?
Yes.
It take like 5 to start.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like 5.
So-
it starts with a load, nothing almost, and then maybe just a.
All right, you know what, Serge, since we brought you in, give me your take on this. You heard the album?
No,
Or-
I briefly heard what he was playing
I
in the
played a
kitchen.
few. I played
yeah.
a few snippets for them at least.
Yeah.
Well, when you heard that Andre was dropping an album, you were expecting some hip-hop.
I was.
Rap.
I was expecting some lyricism, right? As opposed to this,
I don't even know how to
Low rap.
judge flute
Flute
music.
Samurai getting
bro,
shit together music.
He might be killing it on the flute. I have no clue. It literally is the same as listening. Like, he could be. It's like if I'm playing Ocarina of Time sounds. Like, I know that flute from that game.
We
That's
need a
it.
flute specialist
now-
to identify if this
Is
is
he
good or
playing
not.
in Ocarina?
I don't know. It's a flute, apparently.
It could be one. You never know.
But, you know,
Rain
is that
Come on now.
is that basically, is it my own fault for anticipating
Yeah.
something that I should have just known? He is a very eccentric artist overall. Maybe we should have known he would.
Nah.
It's not like he announced. When he made the announcement, he also announced that it was going to be a flute album. I just selfishly assumed that
Yo,
that was,
I feel like
So you set yourself
joshing.
up on
Yeah,
that one.
I know in Anchorman when he says he wrote it in the book as a joke when she said she wanted to be an anchor. He's like, I wrote it right here, Monica. Monica told a really good joke, and that's how we felt when he said that.
When the news dropped, you know how news gets announced now. They give you the provocative title. They don't give you all of the information in the headline. So the first version of the news I got was just Andre 3K is just announced an album coming out in 4 days. Album 4 days. Oh shit! And then I see somebody else tweet like, oh yeah, Andre's dropping an album, but it's a flute album. And I'm like, oh, dick, what a funny joke. Yeah, he does walk around with a flute and get caught random places. But then it really was a flute album. And I was like, I had gotten my hopes up, so I was very excited. I put the album on, like, I got excited and then I read that news. No, I've got a Spotify subscription.
All right.
But I got that news and I was very disappointed. But I was like, maybe, maybe there's something here, because I thought Kanye dropped 808 and Heartbreaks and everybody was hating on it, and then we listened to it and it was a good album and there was cool stuff there.
Right.
Nah, man, for me it sounded like elevator music.
It wasn't it, bro.
Right.
It wasn't it.
Yeah.
So let me go back 1 second. The songs are 10 minutes?
They're like 10 minutes is on the short
16.
side. They're like 17-minute tracks, 13-minute tracks.
And how many
shit.
songs are on there?
2.
8 songs.
8?
It's an hour
Like
30 minutes of wind.
17-minute songs, man.
It's like him with like 5 instruments around him, and he's like, ting, and then he's like, ooh, ting.
Is he going to have like video for all these?
I don't know.
I don't know what
There
you
won't be
shoot for
nothing
me.
to do in the video.
I'll tell you what, the best part about the album for me was
Can't do that.
because Spotify doesn't have space to show you the whole title, and these got long, weird ass titles. So as I was listening, waiting for the song to start, it would take like 5 minutes for just the title to track across. So I thought I'd mention some of these titles because Andre, like, this is half a prank, bro. This album is a prank. The first track is called "I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time." The second track is called "The Slang Pussy Rolls Off the Tongue with Far Better Ease Than the Proper Word Vagina. Do you agree?" Track 3, "That Night in Hawaii When I Turned Into a Panther and Started Making These Low Register Purring Tones That I Couldn't Control. Shit was wild." So that's an interesting one. Yeah. I read that title and I was like, oh, maybe it'll pick up at track 3.
He smoked some
30
good
minutes
shit,
in.
man. He smoked some good shit. That's what that is.
The best title to me is 93 Till Infinity and Beyonce. But also,
Nice.
this one's pretty poetic. "Dreams once buried beneath the dungeon floor slowly sprout into undying gardens." Very,
That's mushrooms.
that's some shrooms. Yeah,
That's mushrooms.
That's some acid, some psychedelics in this
That's
album.
what that is.
But yeah, it's not for me. And I guess I just wanted to talk about the heartbreak of having like these bullshit Instagram pictures of Andre and it's like, new album coming out on Friday. And then 5 minutes later, me Googling it and it's like, he's just playing the flute, guys. And then still trying to salvage it with something and being totally disappointed. But there's probably some DJ somewhere listening to him, you know, do-do-do-do-do-do, and figuring out a way to mix that into a flow.
But I just want to know that you sound very selfish.
I know I'm being selfish.
Because you saw
I'm just being honest.
a post that said Andre 3000 has an album coming out, and then Andre 3000 put an album out.
Okay, so maybe
it just wasn't exactly what you wanted to hear.
Maybe it shouldn't be an Andre 3000 album.
But it is.
That's his name.
Like
it's so
Andre
well, not really
G.
his name, but that's.
But here's the thing.
Like Kenny G did, you know?
You listen to it and it really is. It's an Andre 3000
Have an
album.
alias.
You know,
He
but
went Kenny G.
this isn't
Yeah,
Dracula's
go
wedding.
Kenny G.
It's no Dracula's wedding.
That's
man.
hilarious.
Andre 3.
But
I wonder.
that's my
So let me.
hip-hop
All right,
choice for the week.
let's go another route with this. All right, I'm gonna ask a question and you tell me what you think. Honestly, from your heart of hearts,
Oh man,
do you think?
you're gonna put me in a
Why are you
position-
laughing already?
I'm gonna have to say some shit.
He's like, oh man.
No, nothing too crazy.
Honestly,
do
how
you
much do you
think-
hate that album?
No,
a lot, bro.
No, this for all of you guys. This for all of you guys. From your heart of hearts,
Pow.
do you think honestly, Big Boy likes the album?
I think he's got choice words for it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's probably like, this is stupid. What are you doing?
Maybe Big Boy gets it. You know,
Doesn't
If anybody
like it,
gets 3K,
but maybe understands it.
right? Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
he gets it.
he knows Andre's
like,
weird.
Yeah.
Big Boy and Erykah Badu get this album.
He probably like, yo, bro,
I
what did
trust
you
them.
smoke, bro? Let me go
Yeah.
over there to Thailand and smoke that shit because I might come back and do a motherfucking just drums album. Just me on the drums just all day.
The question,
But like, not even
me
playing
on
the
the
drums
toilet.
consistently. Just every once in a while, he picks up a stick and just ting, da, da, and then he just sits there for
22
another minute.
minutes.
His
with some
next album
vibes.
is him on the toilet with a triangle.
Out of here, bro. I'm
Damn.
so annoyed. And
Well-
then, like, I took a bus ride into the city yesterday and listening to this for a half hour. And
Waiting
it was
for the
bad.
bar to
I had
drop.
to switch it up. Like, I had to get my energy back up to go to this Knicks watch party.
Oh my
Throw on some
God.
Young Miko.
Wow.
Flip it completely.
Do you think if
You got to, bro.
do you think it would calm you down?
You said it's not going to pump him up.
In a hostile environment, would it calm you down?
Maybe, you know what? It
Yeah.
was like it's an NJ Transit, standing room only. There's people like falling off, bumping
Right.
into me and shit, and I was calmly annoyed at it
Right.
instead of like
Right. Instead
So,
of like,
you know,
I got this crotch in my face
I was
I'm listening
taken
to
to Hawaii
this.
on
Oh,
a
crotch in the face.
random
Fuck
night.
that.
Yeah, and
I don't really get it, but I'm gonna listen to it just a little bit now,
Last
just
flute
so
I
I
heard was the
could
Green
be up on
Ranger
what you guys
calling
are
a
up on.
Dragon Zord, bro. That's the last time I listened to a flute.
Yo, that's right. Yo,
Excited.
I was trying to, when we was going to the watch party, Remy put me on, right? He's like, yo, bro, this shit. I said, what do you mean just flute? Is he just playing a flute and he's rapping over flutes? I get it. He's going crazy. That's what I thought he mentioned. Like I said, I bet he's just going to rap over flute. He's going to fuck it up. So we get on the bus. I put it on. You know, again, I got a subscription too. I ain't pay for that motherfucking thing. So I put it on and I'm hearing it and I'm just like, this shit is a flute. I bet. I'm trying to get it. I'm like, I'm looking over at Remy, like I'm trying to look at him, like, yo, bro, when's he gonna spit some?
this is a long interlude.
6 minutes, but then because it's just a flute playing, you got to find something to do. So I started reading the album, and it says no rap, no like vocals in like parentheses and shit. So I said, oh, this motherfucker just gonna play the flute this whole time. So I gave it 6 minutes out of 10, which now I'm hearing is the lowest amount of minutes of a song.
Yes.
And I had to stop, I had to put some dembo on because I had to get my energy back in too to go back into the city.
Wow. Yeah.
Switch it real quick.
Prepare to get your
Sneak up
teeth
on
drilled.
me, pickpocket me.
So I wonder how
Get off
this
the bus.
how does
after
this
listening to
hit?
that album, bro?
I wonder how this hits because I haven't seen good feedback, honestly.
Well, it's not for us though. Nah. It's for Flute people.
That's in another country.
Is there a community of
elevator?
There's a community for that.
I think I will enjoy it.
I think so,
okay,
bro.
Okay.
In a hammock.
It's vibes.
In a hammock. On the beach, in a hammock.
Maybe.
If you go Thailand,
maybe wearing a banana hammock.
Saigon shit. You know what I mean? Like up there.
The Minecraft album. You know Minecraft, like the soundtrack of Minecraft, the music that they play, or Roblox, one of the two. But it's like meditation,
like some ambient shit.
That's what we listen to.
Yeah, I listen to hip hop instrumentals.
I would play Zelda.
Instrumentals, but there's activity to that. You know,
I would play Zelda. I would play Zelda if I wanted to hear those little.
So I could play I could
Zelda.
make my own little tunes with the C
Not
buttons
Andre
on the
3000.
N64 controller.
That's very misleading because I hear Andre 3000's on anything, and I'm gonna. Oh, this guy's gonna rip this apart.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
We were just talking about that song "Kids" with Tribe Called Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Weird beat. It's a weird beat, but it picks up and the song's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I was expecting.
He spits, but playing an ocarina for a whole album with not one verse, not one.
Dude, he might I wonder if he switched it up because I have no clue. Could be clarinet on track 5.
Did you not give it enough time for him to rhyme?
30 something.
No,
minutes?
John said it says right on the album. No vocals.
They said it.
Oh,
they said it in the announcement. It's just that the way
still waited.
The tweets and the Instagrams reported.
He still waited patiently
just
for one bar.
I did.
One bar. He waited for one bar. Come on.
Is there
There's
like
no way, man? Not
is
an
there
ad-lib, nothing.
or any of that?
No ad libs.
No vocals. He had to be holding his breath while he did a lot of the stuff in the lead up, and then only let out a.
Yeah, like a little.
Man.
And there's long gaps of no flute though. Like there's long gaps of no flute.
I'm just saying.
What's in the space with the
breezy sounds, cymbals, chimes.
Yeah, like you know how you can listen to thunderstorms and rain and shit like that to calm. It's like in that realm of music, like it's I thought of an ASMR type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of music he's providing. Some relaxing, some shit. Flute. You know what I'm saying? Masturbate shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
Damn. See what you did, Andre?
I heard that shit at one of Paula's I was at too, man. I think I heard one of his tracks unreleased.
Unreleased.
I heard his
track. The one he made in Thailand only came out in Thailand. At the spot I was at, they were playing that shit.
Like even the titles of this album are so creative that I know he could kill a rap album. He just doesn't feel like it.
I'm so
sad about that.
I really hope that we're gonna find out down the road that this album is at like some special megahertz that when you listen to it, it's like curing diseases or some shit.
When you play it backwards, there's actually big boy verses over all the flute.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Big boy verses, even
little big boy bars.
Big boy, big boy.
I miss
cursing.
Outkast a lot, man. Outkast was a great rapper.
Southern playlistic. Cadillac.
Look what the rap game has done.
Those
to our
dudes
artists.
are interesting as hell. Big Boy, have you ever seen the videos of him with the birds? He's like crazy with the Falcons.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah, that's dope as hell. What a cool
He one-upped. He stepped up the Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you nice with pigeons?
I got Flaco.
Oh, okay.
He got fucking owls, like real exotic ones.
Maybe he could get Flaco.
I'm on the mic.
Over there, Flaco have an orgy over there.
I have something to say about Flaco. How do y'all motherfuckers know Flaco didn't get his nut off?
Because again, like there's the specific type of owl that he is, and he only mates with the same one. They don't have none of them.
This is a New York owl, bro.
That's why I said he should next time because he has to regroup. He needs to come up to Jersey.
Bro,
9 months, bro.
There's some heartbroken seagulls.
Come up here to Alpine.
He made it to Alpine.
Go to Ridgewood. You know what I mean?
9 months.
Yeah,
bro.
He was smashing.
He made it to Brazil.
No. He was smashing all over North Jersey.
He had to go somewhere, wherever they go.
North Jersey. He was banging all over North Jersey.
And does it have to be his type of owl? Or could he just be looking at all these
man.
snowy white owls getting
blank shots?
Tore up.
But the way they say it, if he does find a mate, he wouldn't have came back.
Right, he didn't find his mate.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
like,
he didn't find his soulmate.
didn't find
He
it.
was just
maybe.
smashing.
I mean, he probably went to some shit in those 9 months.
This was his
Flaco
rum
Saw
stringer.
pigeons, started
Flaco.
fucking getting the mirage of an owl.
Yo, he was just smashing, bro.
So you guys are right, bro.
These are
You
his
never
wild
know.
20s.
9 months?
He went to some
Come on,
shit,
bro.
These are his wild 20s.
9 months?
You know what I mean?
He was soil-
He was in the Bronx
soiling
out
his
there, in one
oats.
of those little top of the bodega little shits where the pigeons be at.
He was in the cloisters.
Damn, bro.
Right? With the bougie birds.
Smash
Pigeon got a fat ass. Fuck
Found
it.
some bougie birds. In the Hamptons.
We're gonna find some half owl, half New York pigeon somewhere.
Yo, we gonna find some super killer hawk owl
Yeah,
out
bro,
there, bro.
something
Watch.
crazy.
Aggressive as hell.
Give it how long is their mating thing?
Steal your glizzy straight off the cart.
How long is an owl
Fifth
pregnant?
Avenue.
I don't know. I want to find that. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
even
right.
know.
How long does
How
owl
long?
pregnancy go?
Probably 4 months.
We need to call in a bird expert for
Birds
this
come out
Flaco
fast. You see
story.
how many chickens they be frying?
We
Shit,
need Big
man.
Boy.
Watch it be. Hey, he was gone 9 months.
Right?
What's
Just
crazy
long
is that
enough.
he
Made
went,
it with
he
a
went
human.
back. He was like he
Yeah.
went back to Central Park and was like, I'm gonna just find a tree over where
He went
right over here.
back. He went back to the zoo.
Yo,
Locked me up.
that's the thing. Like, you know, every time we talk about it, I get a little more more of the story. So he's like the way they saw
He's
him.
really a pigeon.
Like he was no. He was for like a couple
Camouflage-ass
days.
pigeon.
There's a park,
Eating out
like
food.
there's a park right next to the Bronx Zoo. And in the tree, he was there for like a couple of days, just looking down at his like little nest area. So somebody was like 5 days before, essentially he came back. He was back, but he was at a park.
Damn, Flaco was homesick.
Yeah, he was like across from the like a big ass tree, just looking down at the shit. Like, and everyone's like, "Yo, is that fucking Flaco up there?"
He was over there like,
You know why? Because he was probably
should I?
He's heartbroken, man.
He was just looking at his nest, like, I can't bring him
This
this back.
changes everything.
5 months, I'm gonna come back.
you know what it was.
I can't go back there.
While he was out,
Can't go back there.
he had to do the hunting and finding food and everything. He's just looking at the nest in the zoo like they feed me three hot meals a day.
I
And
struggled for 9 months.
I've had
Shit
enough
was
of
rough.
this.
He's just looking at his shit, like, yo.
This shit was
ran
rough.
into-
That
he-
bed looked cozy.
You ran into the owl version of Jada Pinkett.
He
drove
checked
him
back
crazy.
into the system.
9 months,
Got him
bro.
smacking Chris Rockbirds.
He did a bid.
Yeah.
bid.
All right. You know what? Speaking of Flaco and what the hell were we talking about right before Flaco? We got one thing.
Flute albums.
Yeah.
Flute albums. Flaco and Andre's flute album. I think there's only one way we can take this one out. I hope this is the right button. We'll see.
Hell no.
Fitting.
That's it,
Yeah.
man.
Still a 3K fan. Just, I blame.
I
the
love you,
news reporting
3K.
sites.
Come
But
on,
the
I blame the
album,
aggregator sites. I blame them for faking me out with the clickbait.
the album is not gonna do it, man.
Damn it.
And that's gonna be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, as always.
Pow.
Yeah.
This is the fans' perspective. I guess we're out.
Yeah, we out, man. You did for the street.
Peace.
Peace.
Listening to TFP, the fans' perspective.